Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Wormhole Extremists. My name is David Reed. I'm with Nicole Rodriguez Galdo
Hello.
and Yvie Cahill.
Hello.
Hi, guys. We've got
Hi.
Nightwalkers and Abyss coming up
Yes.
this week.
Yes, we do.
An episode that I hit or miss, and an episode that I think
Okay.
is one of the finest episodes in the franchise.
I agree. So
Agreed.
your voice went up an octave for Nightwalkers, so I
Right.
instantly knew what your feelings were.
Did I specifically go up an octave for
You
Nightwalkers, or
kind of went, you kind of went,
did I say Nightwalkers or an episode that I hit or miss? And I
yeah,
think you're
yeah,
assuming
yeah.
that that's Nightwalkers. Actually, Nightwalkers is one of the finest episodes of the franchise. And Abyss
Really?
stinks. No.
You're
Yeah.
just like
That
backtracking.
order.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we have some somber news to lead with. One of
We
my
do.
favorite actors of all time. We've lost two this week. We'll talk about the second one between episodes 1 and 2 that we're going to cover. But we're gonna park that one for now. Tony Todd, we lost this week. He was 69 years old. I'm really devastated. He was I've never seen the Candyman, to be perfectly honest. I don't know anything about that.
No.
I intend to see it. I first knew him as Kern in Star Trek The Next Generation, Worf's younger brother. And then, he went on and did Hycon in Stargate SG-1. And I've seen him in a ton of stuff in between. We were going to interview him.
Oh, were you?
I
Oh, was it
reached out
locked
to his
in?
it was not locked in, but it was close. I reached
Oh.
out to his management in the spring and they said, he's busy right now. Contact us in the fall and we'll get started. I
He's got
contacted
a
them.
lot of upcoming projects.
Yes. I contacted
Yeah.
them last week and then this happened. It's like, oh my God.
Just awful.
And it's one of those where it's like, it's more incentive for me to continue to do what we're doing over at Dial the Gate. Because these people
Yeah.
are going
Absolutely.
way too fast now. He was 69 years old.
That's so
nothing.
young now. Yeah.
He's 2 years
Yeah,
younger
I
than my
think-
mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Or
I
older
read
than my
somewhere
mother.
that he had a long illness,
Oh,
but I couldn't find any more details about
okay.
that. But yeah, just awful. I think you've pretty much touched on all of the main parts of his career that I wanted to delve into. But yeah, he did leave an incredible legacy in sci-fi. As you mentioned, he was in Star Trek, so he did The Next Gen, he did Deep Space Nine, and he did Voyager.
That's right.
I'm also the same as you. I haven't seen Candyman because
Same.
horror is not
Oh,
my
you haven't seen it, Nicole? Okay.
preferred,
I
not
love
my
horror. Haven't seen
preferred.
it.
I haven't seen it. I'm
Yeah,
going to now.
I can't do it. But he's supposed to be incredible in that. And I think he was sort of quite well renowned for his sort of very deep, distinctive voice. And
It's
he had
beautiful.
such a commanding screen presence. So, as Nicole mentioned before we aired, he did have quite a few video game um, voice acting credits to his name.
Recently, he was in Spider-Man and he played Venom in that and in the game. And yeah, he's done quite a few games throughout career. Like Layers of Fear, which is by a company that I'm a big fan of at the moment. And he recently did like Back for Blood and stuff like that. So that's only his recent stuff. You go back far enough, it's like he's done Half-Life Alyx as well and stuff
That's
like that. It's
right.
like,
He was the
yeah.
Vortigaunts.
He's
God.
incredible. I think
Mm.
Evie, I think you've been looking into like his physical acting stuff. I think it was like Orville and stuff like that. He was in Chuck for sure, but
He was in Orville.
was he in the Orville as well?
I'm
I
not
thought.
surprised.
Yeah,
I
I
recognized his
am.
voice when I was watching.
Exactly.
I was like, I
There's
swear
so
that's him.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there really is.
The fact that we haven't seen Candyman, but we know him so much from so many things, it's like
We
damn,
know him
you
from
know?
what he's not known for in all the trades.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
That's true.
because he's so incredible.
Because
Yeah,
yes,
it's
he just has such he offered such like dignity to his roles. Particularly I think with Hycon.
Yeah,
You know,
a lot of
he was
poise.
he was the last Sudan warrior.
yeah.
Like no
Mhm.
more. So
Very much so. And
It's a
I
shame we're
wish
not on
that he
that
had
episode.
more. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be hard
Yeah.
when we get to that one. But
Yeah.
I really wish that they had given him more meat to chew on. But for the episodes that we had him, he was larger than life. He was rock solid. And he's going to be a hard one to miss.
Yeah, so he definitely had a lasting impact on Stargate and all those other projects. And obviously our thoughts are with his family and friends, because that's just an awful loss.
Yeah, we're
Absolutely.
fans. We
he
love
will
him,
be
appreciate him
remembered.
in one way,
Yeah.
but like his family must be really feeling this. So yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. Anthony Raleigh, I liked him in The Rock. I don't think Sean Connery, The Rock? I've not seen it. So I'm going to have to go and watch it.
Yeah, he was in Chuck. Yeah.
Not seen Chuck.
I love Chuck so much.
Yeah?
It's such a good
Yes,
show.
you do.
It's one of the best, funniest shows.
Really?
It's like it honestly, David, I think you'd love it for like just a good chill time. Like it's a comfort show with great drama.
Yvonne Straczynski, Zachary Levi, Joshua Go. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
And they've got loads of like Firefly references in there because obviously you got Adam Baldwin and
Oh yeah.
And Tony Todd is he plays one of the head agents that is he's often on the video calls, and he's kind of like a douche sometimes, but there's some great moments. Like there's an episode where Chuck FedExes an important thing back to them, and he's really angry at Chuck for like messing everything up, and then suddenly he gets handed a FedEx box and he's like, what the hell? And like he's the angry guy in the comedy, and then but occasionally he gets to like it really like complements the comedy really well, and it's right in there.
I mean, I don't know if anyone's seen Star Trek Picard season 3, but Todd Stashwick played Captain Liam Shaw, and his first scene, it's like, oh my gosh, this guy's such an a-hole, and by his last episode, it's like, I don't want him to stop. I don't want this to end. The performance is so good. He has that arc, and it's like. It's those performances where you don't expect what's to come, and the actor and the writer come together and they deliver, and it's just cinema and TV magic. So very good.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Tony Todd.
Yeah.
What else, guys? Anything else that we need to cover or get out of the way before we? Oh, so you're doing a bad example in between the episodes, right?
Yes, I'm gonna do it later, just so we can jump in because I got time.
Okay, don't cover Nightwalkers, or Abyss. I think we'll guess them. So
I will not.
Well,
do
you've
that.
got like 200 odd other episodes to delve into.
364,
300,
something like that.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Let me pull my timer up here, so we got that ready to go.
Yeah, I'll get my episode up.
Get the episode up, and apparently Yvie has loads of notes.
I always have loads of notes.
I've seen the timestamps for the notes, and they scare me. You know, I
it's a good
thought
idea to
Yvie,
show them to you.
I thought Yvie had like just a handful. When you see how many there are, it's like holy moly, Yvie, touch grass. Get a life.
Get a life.
I mean that respectfully with love. You put so much
Get a
time
life.
and effort
Seriously,
into it.
I love you. But get a life.
Yeah, it's great. It's
That's
so
funny.
much. So I really respect and appreciate it, and I will not talk during that
spread
period I
it throughout
mentioned.
the week. It's not like I'm sitting there for days on end.
That's
Thank
true.
God, 'cause it's a lot.
But I think something gives me the impression that you've incorporated into part of your downtime, looking forward to the research. Because if you're not, you're crazy. You know,
Yeah.
if you're
No,
not
I do
enjoying this
enjoy
process,
it. I do
there you
enjoy
go.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Absolutely.
I wouldn't.
I'd be looking a lot more disheveled and, like chaotic, I think.
Yeah, can I
otherwise.
just say in the chat, Evie looks beautiful today.
She
got a
does.
couple hours
Aw.
extra sleep. She's looking so
Thank
content
you.
and bright and
She's great for 6:13 a.m.
yeah. You know, like I never looked that good. So damn.
No, not until I've had some caffeine. All right. As with all other episodes now, the MGM logo and Leo the Lion do not start this episode, so base that on your timer. Are you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Our rewatch panel of Nightwalkers begins in 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to Wormhole Extremists. My name is David. I'm with Yvie
Hello.
and Nicole.
Hello, hello.
And that's a balding fella.
That is Peter Anderson
Oh,
as Dr. Richard Fleming.
okay.
So the character's name probably pays tribute to Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin, because both men sort of delved into revolutionary biological research, though with different results.
Didn't know Sam took her dog tags off.
Also, her hair looks impeccable considering she's been apparently lying in bed.
I look like a
look
drowned
like a
rat in the
disheveled
morning.
troll in the morning.
Yeah.
If I were Amanda, I would be like, my hair does not look this good, guys. Let's go for it. It's one scene. Let's just do it. Make it the hair wild.
My mum has really short hair and it always looks really flat on one side when she's been sleeping.
What color is her hair?
My mum,
Uh-huh.
grey.
Ah, there you
Yeah,
go.
she's got perfectly silver hair.
Yeah.
So I think even from the opening sequence to this episode really feels a little bit different. I think it's worth noting that Joe Malozzi characterized this as a old-fashioned small-town alien invasion story, and he regarded it as one of the season 6 finest offerings. So yeah, there's that. And
right.
the Gateworld reviewer called it sci-fi noir mystery, which I think is pretty apt. So I wanted to say as well that speaking of different things, this episode does stand as the first one to feature none of the characters from the original film. And it also marks the first time in the series that Daniel isn't seen or even mentioned.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah. And Peter West actually earned a Gemini nomination for Best Photography in a dramatic program or series for this episode. I think it's also worth noting that Nightwalkers is the 5th consecutive sort of Earth-centric episode. So even Descent sort of kept us near Earth's orbit. So more notably, though, this episode marks the 3rd straight episode where the Stargate serves as sort of either a secondary element or remains entirely absent.
Nerd. Ah! That's funny.
Love him.
Yeah, but in a second, he lies about memorizing SG-1's mission reports. So he's
what a naughty
playing
boy.
Jack's like ignorance card.
Do you think he is on purpose?
Yeah, he is. He literally says, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So he
it'd
wasn't just
be a
pretending.
recap for
Okay.
the audience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Immunotech research.
Well, you know what? Sometimes I already know something that my friends told me, and I'm like, you know what? I'll want to hear it again. So, maybe he's doing that.
Yeah, I tend to do the same thing, Nicole. I don't mind if people repeat themselves, because they obviously are excited to get some information out. So I usually let it slide if I've heard it before, especially when it's my parents. As they get a bit older, they forget what they've told me.
Yeah.
So Jack's not going to be in this one. Yeah, it makes sense. No original characters from the feature film.
Yeah. See, there you go. Oh, Jonas,
They already do,
you
darling,
beautiful
and it's
soul.
okay.
So he did know who Adrian Conrad was, or he didn't?
Yes. No, he
Okay.
did. Yeah.
Okay.
He just didn't
That's
want
good
them to
to watch.
judge him for memorizing all of the mission reports as well as every piece of literature on base.
Yeah. Well, what else has he been able to do with that brain of his?
Exactly.
So it makes sense.
So this episode takes place in the real settlement of Stevenston, British Columbia. So it's got quite the resume. So this location has hosted productions like Once Upon a Time,
Storybrooke.
The X-Files.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been there as well, haven't we?
2400.
Yeah, we've stood pretty much right there.
We have, yeah. And there's actually, you can spot some real local businesses which still exist. Kizamos Greek Taverna and Stevenston Coffee
Steveston.
Co. Steveston, sorry.
Mhm.
Steveston Coffee Co. Are still businesses that exist today, which is kind of cool.
Ah, that is it's so important to keep those businesses going.
Yeah, absolutely. I also love there that Sam sort of set up a circular surveillance loop. Sorry, like Jonah's keeping an eye on Tilk and Tilk keeping an eye on Jonas.
This guy isn't this guy the Pegasus deck chief
Blue
on
Man
Battlestar Galactica?
Kuma.
Yeah.
It's entirely
yeah, he
oh,
is.
this guy.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, Blue Man Kuma as Sheriff Knox. So,
But yes, the other guy, yes.
yeah, he actually he worked with Stargate guest star Scott McNeil, who's also in this episode in Beast Wars, and Blue also voiced a character in Stargate Infinity with his yeah, and he was good friends with Don Davis.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
Stargate
sense.
Infinity coming up 2 times in a row, guys. I love it.
And the deputy that we saw before was Vincent Gale as
That's it. And he was on
technically
Galactica.
Agent Cross. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was Chief Peter Lard from Battlestar Galactica and Nigel Griffin
Laird.
from
Yeah.
Sanctuary. And he later returns to the franchise as Carl Binder Morrison in Stargate Universe.
Carl Binder Morrison?
Yeah.
That's a nod to Carl Binder, I suppose.
I'd take that as a yes.
The body, I don't think ever comes up again, though. I think it was just removed.
Yeah. I don't think we hear about the body later.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Pills.
Amphetamines.
Yes.
I've only seen this episode like 5 or 6 times, so I don't
yeah,
remember a great deal about it.
Yeah, so now
5
we're
or 6
watching
times
very
is like a
quietly.
lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen Abyss like 15 or 16 times. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, there are some episodes I've seen, I think, literally 100 times. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but for the grace of God.
You think
so,
100
like,
times? Oh, I don't know about that.
more for me, for sure.
For individual
It's one-
episodes? Wow.
Yeah, I love that, but for the grace of God.
She
I've
has
definitely seen
Stargate
it
on
a
pretty
lot.
much constantly.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, that doesn't
I
mean
used to
she's
go to
sitting
sleep.
in front of it.
I usually am, though.
So,
It's weird. If Stargate's on, I can't not watch it. So.
Yeah. So I really love how Carter is like totally commanding this investigation. So I don't know if you guys remember back in Shades of Grey when Hammond said that she wasn't ready for a command. And now she's like out there running a covert op. She's casually setting up circular surveillance between her teammates. Like, you grow, girl. Like, I'm so proud of you.
That's a lot of alcohol.
It is.
Like what you said, this is a major eating episode.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, there's a bit of eating.
Speaking of eating, I'm starving. I might mute myself and eat some Oreos.
Go, be my guest. I went and bought more of those waffle thingies the other day.
Oh, stroopwafels.
Those. In fact, I'll be right back. Have fun.
When David comes
So
to
there's
visit, he doesn't have to
actually
feed him that.
something sort of unlikely on Fleming's computer. So the screen shows like completely free disk space, which would be impossible for any functioning computer since the operating system itself needs storage space.
The lies. That's a really good point, actually. I didn't even think about that. Good job.
Also, this van says Malotzi on it.
Does it?
Yep.
What
It says
fantastic
MCP
little-
and then it says
Oh.
Malotzi down the bottom in the red.
Oh, that's so brilliant. I love that they do that.
Well, it was written by Molly and Malotzi, so this is just their way of inserting themselves into the episode, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, very convenient timing that it arrives as they're in there snooping around. Damn, Oreos are good. Mm.
Oh, see, this is adorable because he's like questioning self-addressed packages. Like, someone needs to introduce this man to eBay. 'Cause I'm like always sending myself packages.
Okay, sorry. The Stroofwapples, whatever they're called, they're calling my name. Alcohol has gone up in sales 250% this week. I can't imagine why, but this is certainly my
Oh
my
God.
vice.
Version.
So yeah.
That's
Yeah.
your vice, yeah.
We didn't even touch on that. Let's not do that. Let's have a good end of the
Yeah,
week.
keep an eye also on the size of this syringe because it'll come up again later.
Okay.
Is it goof gating? Is it going to be much smaller next
Kind
time
of,
we see it?
yeah, kind of.
I remember that hiding something in the mail is a good way to hide something.
Yeah. Actually, that's what Chuck did in that Tony Todd episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
he did.
really?
He
What
sends
a
it away to get it
coincidence.
away from the evil agents that are after him, and mails it to Tony, and it's so they can't get it back because FedEx took it.
Yeah. So, according to a fan comment on Reddit, I don't know how true this is, but Jonas's toast eating was impromptu and it led to like a production rule of no unscripted eating on set.
Really?
Really?
Could cause for inconsistency between
Oh.
scenes.
Maybe.
If they're going
he's
to do it
got
again
one
and again,
bite.
he's going to have some toast.
Yeah, there's one bite out of that toast. Imagine if we cut back and it's like, and he's done 3 more, and then it cuts back to 1 bite again.
Yeah, because we literally had that same issue with Jack a few like seasons ago, didn't we?
Yeah. Damn.
One of my favorite movies, Music and Lyrics, with Hugh Grant.
I love music and
love
lyrics,
that movie.
David.
Go
Guys,
to the-
we need to watch it together.
Go to the coffee shop scene and watch, what's her name?
Drew Barrymore.
Drew
Drew
Barrymore's
Barrymore, yeah.
drink go up and down in size, and the position of the drink when the two-handed shot goes back and forth, it is a mess.
That's so
And you can't unsee it.
inconsistent. Who's
Yep.
watching that? Also, this looks
editors-
like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
This looks like the Body Snatchers.
Well, it looks like the scariest PTA meeting of all time. There's like
Yeah.
fog and everything. Also, this is Scott McNeil, so he plays the unnamed townsperson. So he'll return as Keflin in season 10's Company of Thieves. He also has another connection with Chris Judge. They worked together on X-Men Evolution. Scott voiced Wolverine and Chris voiced Magneto.
Ah.
One of my problems is I don't buy that he's not flanging with his deep voice. I just don't buy it.
Oh, yeah, it is very deep.
Well, the Goa'uld thing made no sense.
Yeah.
Jonah.
There is a lot of food in this.
Traditional American.
Good joke. Good joke. Damn, this episode's making me real hungry. I want
Why do you think I got the strip?
Yeah.
things?
Stroop waffles.
Yes, that
Rope
one.
waffle. Gotta go for breakfast tomorrow after my meetings.
So
Look at
Jonas with
him.
his trademark eagle eyes.
Perception. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, the article thing, low blow, because sometimes when I'm reading, I didn't really read it properly, and I reread the same thing over and over and over again.
Well, the whole
so-
point is that they're exhausted.
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Not that they're actually Goa'uld right now.
No, this is true, but still, go easy on her, Jonas.
So when Agent Cross comes in, he's wearing a tag that says Mully.
Oh,
That would be his
says it
alias,
Mully?
but yeah,
Yeah.
it's for yeah, it says P Mully.
For Paul, of course.
Yeah.
Was it just me, or did he have tan lines
I didn't notice.
on his? Yeah, it's like he has sunglasses on all the time. Yes, Sam. That's what that means. I would love to have this guy on. He's just
That would be
awesome.
cool.
I'm gonna reach out to him, especially if I didn't know he knew Don well. I would love for him to share some Don stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently they were quite tight, so
Well, that will be my in.
Oh, big sus. I haven't seen this person in so long, but I'm just like, oh, listen. I already know what the answer is, but it's like it's
Yeah.
really fun watching everything get, revealed along the way.
Yes.
As someone who comes from a really small town, I completely get everything he's saying here.
Yeah.
You know?
With the whole community thing, in the US small town thing that
People
I see
stick
on
together.
TV a lot,
Yeah.
is it true? Like you
what?
guys actually like care each other, like about your neighbors and stuff,
Yeah.
and you know each other and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Ugh.
what you're
So the
supposed
British are
to
just
do with
don't
people.
ask, don't tell.
Yeah, the British people are like, oh, stay away from me.
Yeah.
Don't need the most I'll do is take their mail if they're not home to do a nice thing.
Relying on the state to solve, your immediate problems is not how it's supposed to be. The state is a second or a tertiary resort. You turn to your neighbors first. Now, of course, having said that, I know none of my neighbors surrounding me, so I really have some room to talk here. But from where I'm from, I know everyone.
That's very surprising. I mean, I know everyone. I know a lot of people around here because I grew up here, but it's not like the same. Obviously, I feel the US is much more like I don't want to know the people around here. I just do.
Well, when the chips are really down, you'll find out who they are real quick.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I mean, modernity has allowed us to kind of thrive from that.
So, Jonas just said that cloning is illegal, which is not entirely correct. So, while Canada, where Stargate was filmed, does prohibit human cloning, the US has no federal laws against it. So, neither Oregon nor Colorado, where the episode was taking place, had state laws banning the practice.
I did not realize that.
That is such a. I wouldn't have even thought to look into that, Yvie. That is very interesting.
Somebody else did that.
You notice Krusty Bill's bar?
Oh, okay.
So that Greek taverna right behind them is still there.
Krusty Bill's bar is a reference to Bill Mizell.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, first AD on Stargate SG-1.
That is
God,
cool.
the awkward come in and no one you're not welcome. Oof.
And if Jack was here, he would say, "Well, this is a cliche."
He'd also walk in and say howdy or something.
Yeah, he'd go sit right by them and try and get them all a pint and then get a Guinness, see what's going on. Ian in the chat said, I've spoken to a neighbor once in 10 years. It must be a British thing. Yeah, I really don't talk to my neighbors. It's very rare that I say anything to them, so.
Okay, I love the barkeep's expression because it's almost like, ginger ale in here we sell whiskey, like from Back to the Future.
Yes.
I love how Gold are, so good at pretending to be small town country folk when they're in between their breaks from building their spacecraft, which they really shouldn't have to have any because, of their strength, in general.
I know. I love how Jonas just says, "Hey guys, I think he's field testing material for his upcoming book, How to Make Earth Friends and Influence the Tari." Spoiler alert, chapter 1 is entitled, "Hey guys."
God, the way also, right, those glasses are only partway full. I'd expect it way more full.
A being who thinks that he's a king is willing to be a bartender. I just don't see how this works. I'm sorry. I have some real problems with the Gold being.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
They're not being
it makes sense.
Gold here, other than not talking.
They kind of explain that later.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Also,
isn't it that they're not even faking it because they're only partly conscious, so they're still kind of there, but they're just a weird, angry version of them or something? I don't know. It's like a melding issue. I don't know. I don't remember. David, no trivia on this one, please.
No, yeah.
I will not remember.
I would think that their hosts would be pretty exhausted, So maybe they take breaks to keep from overexerting themselves, because literally these people are supposed to be asleep right now.
Yeah.
So.
This reminds me of a book I read a while back. Just simply that it was about the daytime you'd have a personality during the day, and then at nighttime a different person would come out while the other person was sleeping, and they kind of had to they led two different lives during
really
day and
creepy.
night. It's a really interesting idea,
really
very creepy. they'd be like married to someone else during the day, and then like they'd live with them, but not be married to like the other counterpart at nighttime. It was very bizarre.
Wow.
It's a very cool idea. I like it a lot because it's like, it's just eerie.
We've got a Peter DeLuise cameo coming up as well.
Yes. With a
there he is. Pretty obvious one. He's like Stargate's Where's Waldo, really, isn't he?
He really is.
Yeah. God, they're eating again.
This whole episode is a snack, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. On many levels. The Matrix eye candy and the actual food.
They look great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't stand out at all amongst all the flannel.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Oh yeah, because isn't it? So during the day they're like themselves, but at nighttime is when they're like kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, he doesn't remember anything at all. Yeah, no. No.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, nothing says covert surveillance like staring obviously into a shop window.
Maybe he's
straight up these
about
three
getting
guys.
a new lazy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These three guys are doing such a bad job blending in. Like, it's actually I'm embarrassed for them that this is how they decided to dress up. Like, I never really noticed how awful it was until Yvie was like, hey, the meme.
That's right.
Yeah, it is pretty obvious. So our friend here is Michael Eklund. So he actually did a double tour of Battlestar Galactica universe. First he was as a Prosner.
Yeah, he played Prosner in the first episode.
And
yes.
then Wayland and Caprica. So he also did a 19-episode run of Winona Earp as well.
Interesting. Who was he in Galactica?
He was the guy that gets burned alive
Prosner.
when Saul Ty orders them to vent out the area in the miniseries, and then Callie's holding his dead body, and he's like, his face is like melted.
That's right. His hair was cut.
He's the one that found the photo of Adama when he was younger with his kids, and they gave it to him as part of the retirement.
That's right. Good for you.
Damn,
that's
Prosner.
A great trivia. Yeah, that burn makeup was good.
Yeah, he looked gross.
Yeah.
So basically, if you've like listened to what he's saying, he's like a night shift worker. Yeah. So for once, those night shifts were actually good for your health.
Yeah.
Saved him.
I died in that fire. Oh, another fire. Yeah, good. I'm glad he avoided this
exactly.
one. Wow.
There's a trend here.
Stay away from fires, my guy.
I remember that in the preview. They only come out at night.
Oh God. That's it. You were about hostility.
Oh, looking at Jonas.
Oh. I like that Sam's had to go like undercover in this small town with two aliens who still struggle sometimes, and it's like, wow, covert.
Correct. Full-grown clones.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so that's Sam's point as well. So it's kind of funny hearing Sam say adults can't be duplicated, because she's literally been duplicated as an adult herself. Like, granted, it was as a humanoid robot by Harlan, but still. But like, I think she's probably just talking strictly about Earth's current level.
And her peers did have mimetic alien devices on them too, so there was some of that. And the mimic devices will come out later. Or come
I heard
back.
about this rich lady who's she has the DNA of her dog and she like has it on standby every time her dog gets old and dies.
Yep.
She keeps cloning it, and I'm like, I wish I could do that with my dog. I love her so much.
The personality wouldn't necessarily be the same.
That's the difference, yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd be a good long-term study.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't think it would be that expensive. I would think it'd be several $1,000s now, but I don't think it's that expensive anymore.
If I was rich enough, I would.
So her lock picking technique isn't quite right. She actually doesn't rotate the barrel before she opens the door. Oh, it's so cute. Of course, everything's creaking as well.
Yeah. Mm. I have one thing I remember about this episode that annoys me, and when we get to it, I'll point it out. But like, I'll see if I'm misremembering it because it was like really, it was the slap, the Jonas slap, always sounded pathetic to me growing up, and I'm like, and I want to get to it and see if, I want to see
she
if I
slaps
remember.
Jonas.
Oh, she
Yeah.
does? Oh, that's
I
right. Yeah.
remembered how pathetic the slap sounded. You know, they made a joke about her
I
hitting him
think
hard. And I'm like,
I think if I'm remembering my rewatch of this like 2 days ago, I think it sounds louder than it looks, if that makes sense. Like it just looks like a really light tap, which it probably was. But
maybe that's why I thought it was
they've dubbed
pathetic.
over a sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
That does not look at all like the ship in the shed.
Well, I mean, obviously, the ship in the shed is just a very suspicious looking matte painting. So
I'm just like they just don't look consistent. And I wish we saw more of this ship than we did. So
it's a damn good painting though.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's vaguely gold.
Yeah, it's got some of that cargo ship kind of like smoothness and weird
kind of
triangular
looks like the
curve.
Delta Flyer from Voyager, but yeah.
Okay, so
Daniel could read
apparently Jonas
Yeah.
just made like an interesting slip in terminology. So apparently while all data is inherently encoded in some form, what he's actually
Encrypted.
describing is encryption.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is backed up by later dialogue from Tilk, who actually mentions breaking the code and decryption. So
I actually forgot how they got here, so this is exciting.
Raj Luthor, I wish we could get to see more of the spaceship or at least a full schematic. I'm pretty sure that blueprint was, the ship, right? That they were building?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Wasn't that it, or was it a part?
We didn't get to see all of it though, did we? It was like kind of, a bit obscure.
Janky?
Yeah. Well,
You
go eat
Sam.
something, guys.
Yeah, right?
Get your stroop waffle on like David.
Don't make me go get more of those
Have you had Biscoff?
Go have some
I
street.
don't think so.
Oh, I'm gonna make you some Biscoff cookies when you come to England. You're gonna have such a good time.
It's going to be a while.
Oh, Biscoff
Okay.
is good. Biscoff is very good. It goes with everything.
I love that they're
I'm
just
actually
casually throwing the Zats on the dashboard.
Yeah, like
someone
for everyone
comes
to
around
see.
and they're like, what is that?
What is
Yeah.
that? It's just like, oh, we're just doing some dirty stuff in a car late at night with these phallic-looking guns. Don't worry about it. I went there.
This is a great transition.
Oh, it is very creepy.
Well, this dude falls asleep within seconds.
Yeah.
I wish I went to sleep that fast.
I know people who
think-
do.
Yeah.
My dad falls asleep pretty quickly. Actually, I fall asleep pretty quickly too. But I think the average is 12 minutes.
Oh,
Really?
That-
I take
Yeah.
more than that. The average? The global average?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Evie, very random question. While nothing's happening right now, have you ever seen Brookie's bakehouse in
No.
Brisbane? So it's an Australian woman who makes apparently the best cookies in the world, like Biscoff, Nutella, etc., etc. Her name's Brookie, or her name's Brooklyn, I think, but she does cookies. But I'm gonna do it. My favorite Australian to follow. So if you ever go to Brisbane, please get me cookies.
Okay, I'm not a huge fan of Queensland, but yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Apparently, Queenslanders
Also,
are full of really strange people.
Oh.
yeah, it's the heat. Apparently she's like developed the ability to translate and read Google text. So
Or she's
I don't
able to
think they
recognize that it's
actually
hieroglyphics.
yeah, I don't think they explicitly explain this, but I guess it is possible that, she potentially had lessons from Daniel before Ascension. Maybe she self-studied after his departure, or perhaps even like residual knowledge from her brief blending with Jolena.
I was wondering that, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's reading the text?
Yeah, she interprets it. She reads it. Yeah, she
Oh, okay.
translates it.
So they're all Conrad's Goa'uld. I forgot that.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're all the same. They're like balls. So they all behave the same, or they should.
What? Oh. Very covert, guys. They didn't just like see you very obviously in the
Yeah,
card
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Took the Zats too. Didn't hide those well either, did you? Yeah,
I mean, it's been 6 years. I'm honestly not surprised that she's learned Goa'uld.
Yeah. I mean, you got to pick up something with Daniel's constant rambling.
Exactly
and
right,
obsession with,
and
the
Yeah, I
others.
guess.
she's loves to study, so
Yeah.
I forgot
all
the cops
Phoenician to
aren't.
me, sir.
It's all Phoenician. The cops aren't Goa'uld yet.
No, they're good still.
Yeah.
Which is why they were acting relatively normal when arresting them.
Yeah. How many people are you gonna kill?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, in the Gate World review, Terry Campbell made a great point. They said that we were robbed of seeing Sam take on a room full of Goa'uld townspeople while rocking the impractical but stylish high-heeled boots. They just sort of gloss over it completely.
Lockwatcher. They don't have snacks in the van.
Yeah, what a shame, honestly. When they're not eating, I'm not happy.
Well, there's a difference between not having any snacks and just not wanting to share them with, so-called prisoners.
Yeah.
Good NIDs. More of Malcolm Barrett's crew.
Mm-hmm.
Dear oh
Typical.
dear.
It's not a bad idea.
No, you know what? It's not. But it's not very morally nice for the
For the townspeople. Exactly right, yeah.
See, there you go. There's the explanation.
Well, I knew that,
So-
but so they're a little no, but I mean the symbiotes, not the humans.
The
Why aren't
symbiote's
this-
the infant.
Okay,
They're
so
they're too young to have the strength to like deal with taking over a person full time.
To wait
So,
for them to be
I'm just
slaves,
talking about like their demeanor is more slower because of that.
Yeah, I
Because
think so. That's
Kowalski
how I
was
interpret
pretty
it.
darn strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. The townspeople
Well,
it was them in the bar as well. So
Yeah.
It's okay to
I'm
say,
just
David, stop
calling
bursting
them-
our bubble.
No, it's okay, David. Burst it.
Yeah. I just call them sleepy time symbiotes.
Sleepy time.
Sleepy day. Well, to be honest, it makes a lot of sense. Like I think with Kowalski as well, like the guy, the symbiote did take over at times, but it did choose usually like sleepy moments where to take him over because it was easier. So
Also, they were sort of more discussing this in the van, but why did Fleming mail himself the vaccine instead of just taking it?
Yeah, it's a fair point.
because then
These
this wouldn't have
symbiotes
happened.
are weird. A lot
They're like-
shorter.
Yeah, they're teeny tiny. Haven't seen that in a while.
Again.
Her eyes are so big and blue that
Yeah.
it's even like more disturbing when her eyes light up because her eyes are already so big. So they light up and it's like Jesus Christ. It's serious.
This is true.
Okay, so we're gonna see the syringe on the floor.
Oh, and
And
it's
we
a
really
lot
don't know what it
smaller.
does
It's going to be a
yet.
lot smaller.
So no, so it's a 60 ml syringe, which is very ambitious. So like that's way too much fluid for self-injection. So even with like intramuscular shots, you're only looking at like 5 ml max. So Carter would have needed like a whole IV setup for that much medication, which she obviously didn't
Because it was a
have
huge
on her.
amount.
It sure
Yeah.
It
was.
was a huge amount.
I guess they were like big symbiote, big meds.
Yeah.
But you didn't need a lot of fluid to sell the idea.
No, you didn't.
Tight shot on the Zat, reused from season 2.
I was gonna say I remember it from season 2.
That's it.
Oh, here we go. The pathetic slapping coming.
It is coming.
Mean Sam. Mean Sam.
Nah. Yeah, see, it sounds kind of pathetic. Like it's
I'll
like
take
a
your word
tap.
for it.
Yeah, sorry, David. Like it looks like it hits harder than it sounds. It's like a click. It's like okay, you know. His face still. He looks so like upset that she hit him. He's like, "Excuse me." Welcome.
You have properly interfaced.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, here we go. You think the NID would be screening them just for this? You would
Yeah.
think.
It is quite interesting when the Gould get all you know, like this, where it's not just like big overdressed bad guys trying to take over the universe. Like the intricate political stuff like this is actually quite interesting. I just don't. It's not what I watch Stargate for a lot of the time.
See, did you notice there how Sam slips up in her like possessed act? So like the real bewildered Agent Cross calls himself the host, but Sam's still using Major Carter. So I mean that kind of should have like tipped them off right there.
Yeah, they didn't dehumanize her completely. Could have been like, my host was doing this.
Mm-hmm. This one's Jafar.
I love that. Even on Earth, he's a shover. Poor guy. Oh, yeah, really?
The Russians didn't have only had him for that long. They would have known.
Yeah. God.
Oh, Sam. I love how she casually threw in the humans don't trust him.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
Nice
Basically
thing.
another slap. It's
Uh-huh.
a verbal slap.
They did not often do night shots. Cool, though, when they choose to do it.
I do feel like all the guys running in one line on the street like this is not entirely tactical, though. It looks
Probably
cool.
not.
Lockhart said, how do all the symbiotes know Dilkers? Well, I mean, if he's got a gold symbol on his head and he's like, well, any symbol on his head.
Yeah, they know
and
exactly
and
what he
And
is.
he's chilling out on Earth
Yep.
with humans. He's clearly anyone would be a shoulder. They just happen to only really use it on him.
Because
And
he's
then
not
they make
working
that.
for his god, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Now it's raining.
Yeah, I don't quite
Hmm?
know how Sam managed this.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is all fuzzy.
Yeah. Hmm.
Should have checked the back of her neck.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the symbiote went in, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, but isn't it the vaccine is making it go bye-bye?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's killing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, new plan. I don't know. I think he's right on the money. Listen to him.
Yeah.
Oh, subterfuge.
That was such a Jack way of saying that.
It really was.
Like, RDA's not here. Let's insert some of that.
There you go.
Hmm.
Okay, you know what's kind of interesting? This episode marks a milestone in terms of symbiote possession, because now both Jack and Sam have now each been hosts to a Goa'uld and a Tok'ra.
That's it. That's true.
Look at them. They're twinning.
Twinning.
I'm
Love to
assuming
see
they
it.
removed the symbiote this time rather than letting her body absorb it.
No, I assume they're just letting her body absorb it.
Yeah.
Man, just take the
I mean,
damn
why
thing
go
out.
through all that? Why go through all
Just
that effort?
unnecessary surgery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Suppose. You can have
I'm
a
sure they'll keep they'll
skeleton
keep an
back
eye on
there
it.
for
They'll
God
scan.
knows how long.
They'll
Yeah.
keep scanning to make sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've had like things happen with me. I know people who've had things happen with them where like it's kind of just something's in them and it's kind of like not very pleasant, but they're like, yeah, you know, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to cause any damage. Just leave it in.
A
It's like,
9-inch snake.
It wasn't 9. It was more like 4 or 5. It was tiny.
I'm talking about this.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. 9-inch snake is like 5 inches. It was a half snake, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just a wee bebe.
A wee baby snake.
Let's get some
So, Terry Campbell in their Gate World review made an interesting
was such a
point
fast
about
ending.
this episode.
What the hell?
They said that this episode worked better as the bridge between Frozen and Anubis rather than a standalone story because it didn't quite sort of hit the heights of like a 1969 or a Point of No Return. But I love what a fan on Reddit pointed out. They said that despite the wild premise of symbiote-possessed townspeople moonlighting as spaceship builders, we get this rare and really interesting team dynamic between Tilk, Carter, and Jonas.
Yeah.
And it's like actually one of the few times that we get to see this particular trio working together, which I think is nice.
Yeah, I agree. That ending was really abrupt though for me. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of like, yo, like
It's
she's
a
like,
lot
let's have
of
lunch.
It's a lot of business. It's a lot of story beats, you know, and
Yeah.
plot contrivances to make it work. But either way, that's Nightwalkers. Okie dokie. All right. Closing
Had a
sentiments.
good time tracking Evie's timestamps. There are a bunch of moments where we'd like it'd go 10 seconds over, and I think Evie would like then realize that like that was her moment. She'll go in and do something. Or like I'd be deliberately silent. I'd be like, I caught it. And then David would go in and I'm like, no, David, you're ruining it. But I didn't say anything.
Sorry.
It's not your fault.
fine.
But it was really funny. It was only like 10 seconds here and there, and I was like, she's fine, she'll get it. But it was really fun seeing this from the perspective of how Evie has to manage it. So that's added an extra element to an episode that otherwise sucks. So
You think it sucks? What's your
sucks.
rating?
It sucks. A 2.
Okay.
I think it was slightly, you know, it's not the bane of my existence, but it sucks. You know, I'm not a fan. I like how much food they ate. I'm annoyed about how hungry I am now. And I think that interesting team dynamic, but overall it's just a bit of a doo-doo episode. But like I
Doo-doo.
like the people who were in it. Like there were some great people in it, but it was quite doo-doo. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it just doesn't really, it's not very impactful. Like it's just a filler episode. I don't think anything from this episode, like continues on in any way, shape, or form later on down the track. I think it was really great seeing Sam take command.
Yeah.
The one human amongst a trio of people, and the other two are aliens, so it was
That's
kind of
true.
nice to see. And I think she really kicked some butt. I think it was kind of disappointing we didn't get to see some sort of Matrix type fight between her and that
Slow motion bullet
that
time.
group of bewildered townspeople. That would have been a lot of fun.
There isn't really action in this other than a bunch of
No,
guys
there's
running through the
not.
street with lights. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. But yeah, I think it's a pretty weak episode, to be honest. I think I'd be sort of more around a 3.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan. I think it's easy. It's one that I easily skip.
Yeah, 100%.
This episode is a 2 for me. It's weak sauce. I the question is, what do you do when you don't have RDA? You do this,
Yeah.
I think that the actors did what they could with the material. I think that it's not god awful, certainly. It doesn't have the benefit. The similarity with Bane is that they both take place on Earth. There's very little off-world activity. The bulk of the story takes place on Earth. The sci-fi element is minimal, and I really felt like they had to wrap themselves up to make the story work. Oh yeah, well, if we do this and then we do this and we do this, but also this, then we can get away with telling the story, but we also have to do this as well. And it was just like, I get it, but I see everything that you left through, all the hoops that you jumped through to arrive at that.
You can see the layers, you can see the work behind it.
Yeah. This is an example of why I'm not crazy about season 6. It's episodes like this.
100%.
To be perfectly honest. So
there are some. So you were saying as well, like Yvie, about how, and like Dave, both of you were saying about how like the lack of RDA, like what do you do? What, like, you got some filler episodes, yada yada. There are some great examples of filler episodes in Stargate, but like they don't always land. Sometimes they just stink.
And there's some great examples of Earth episodes in Stargate. Great examples. So it's not just Earth episodes.
Yeah, it's not even just that. There's some episodes on Earth that I have an absolutely fantastic time with. Like, if you really think about it, right? They're Above the Grace of God. It's not a filler episode, but it all takes place on Earth, and they somehow managed to make an incredible episode there. It's got so much cool stuff happening.
Foothold.
Yeah, exactly. Foothold, all on Earth as well, and very off base as well. There's lots of things that you can do in filler to make it good. Prometheus Unbound is an example of how to write RDA out of an episode and make it amazing and make it budget friendly. It was so cheap to do, and I'm never going to stop going off about that. Also, Grace Under Pressure, one of my favorite episodes of all time. It's just McKay in a jumper freaking out. It's a
literal bottle episode.
Yeah. And bottle episodes can be so good. So it's always a shame when the writers, I feel like they can't always be firing off on all cylinders. So I'm not going to give them a bunch of crap for not always being like, because like even with me, with like my day-to-day job, I'm not always going to be like top tier. But yeah, it kind of blows that this episode is the way it is. But
I'm glad that we can still call it like it is, largely. So
it's kind of like, in terms of the work week, it's kind of like a Tuesday. It's not Monday. It's not awful, but it's definitely not like a Friday.
Yeah, definitely. I don't like that. So Anthony says this is a 3 for me. Ian said 2 as well with us. Jacob had to leave early, but left a rating of a 4. Raj Luthra said 4. Dan Ben 2. Shimmering Victoria 4. Made me hungry. Yes. He had to send himself to self so no would take if something happens to him. Okay, Candy, the words, it's his insurance rate of 6. Not sure what that means. Okay, I think you're explaining why Fleming did what he did. So yeah, okay. Gecko Fett, I'd give it a 3 just for the food and the slap. Otherwise, it felt meh. Jean Diada, I'm going with a 4. I enjoy the horror movie feel and getting to see them as a team. Shows Jonas has really become a part of the team. I agree with Yvie. It would have been great to add some Matrix action in this episode. And Lockwatch said this is a 4 for me. Feels like the X-Files meets Stargate meets Twin Peaks. Jonas's observation and the food play is great. Lockwatcher has real issues with poorly picked looks. And Lockwatcher, you're always top tier for us, Nicole. Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. Now, bad example before we shoot off. I opened up something and I saw a photo and I went, okay, I've given you 2 hints. I've done a hashtag and a mild quote. And the hint is in the top. Okay, everyone shoot.
All right.
I know it.
Oh God,
It's
you're
very
so
early,
quick.
Evie. It's very early, very, very early. And
Yeah,
this quote is supposed
isn't
to
it
help.
upside down? Is his thing upside down?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't remember what episode that is.
There's actually
you
another
recognize it.
connection to what we're about to talk about.
yeah. That's what it's one of the
Ah,
reasons I went for it as well. So
okay.
yeah, but I'm gonna wait for everyone to kind of like guess in the chat.
Yeah, well, wait, I don't think I'm gonna get it, but I love the raised eyebrow, by the way. That's fantastic.
I had to. I
It's like
I
the
had
one
to.
good.
raised eyebrow. It's great.
Thank you. Yeah, I think my drawing. I'm not a great drawer, but at least I can kind
No,
of.
you
do it.
got him. That can't be anyone
So,
else. The ears and
yeah.
everything.
People are saying Children of the Gods.
It's not.
Close, Anthony.
It's
It's
close.
not. It's really close. Just go. Just wait a little bit longer. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. So I'll give everyone just another 30 seconds and then we'll stop. But
So
yeah.
the galaxy is populated by the ancient peoples of Earth. The enemy within.
Anthony.
He got
Enemy
it.
within.
Anthony.
Good
Got
job.
Yeah,
Good
because it was
job.
one of the earliest episodes where they goofed the thing, so I put hashtag Goofgate. So
Goof
and I gave a
gate.
mild quote of them talking about
The
the origin of the
descendants
people.
of the
As
ancient
long as
peoples
it
of
hits.
Earth. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
The weird colonel that said it.
Uh,
Well, it's interesting that Anthony brought that up because Allan Rochin, who played Colonel Kennedy in Stargate SG-1, we also lost this past week. So I don't know. Wow, was he in just one episode?
He was
I
just
think
in
he-
one episode
in
as
one?
Colonel Kennedy,
Yeah.
so just in
He
the
was
line
mentioned in
of
Enigma.
duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Mayborn took over his spot because he got promoted.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was 82.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, good job.
Yeah, so
80s
he
is when
did
I start being like, well lived, well lived.
slightly better.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did have a very brief but very memorable role.
It was a good one. He
I
was very
think.
much like that kind of military guy from the movie. He was taking,
Yeah.
Yep.
all of those military folks around the table in the movie. He was kind of like that piece to the puzzle. So, and he had his episode in The Enemy Within, and it was memorable, especially
I
his
always
line.
liked him.
The galaxy is populated by the descendants of the ancient peoples of Earth. So
Yeah,
he was,
it really that
and
stuck
you are
with
their
me.
greatest hope and mine. Teal'c's line. So it's really strong stuff.
Yeah.
I liked him so much because he was kind of a bit of a douche because he's got to be kind of for the job he's doing.
It's the job.
But
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing. I respected him for doing it and doing the job, and he's obviously just trying to do what he's being told to do. It's his orders, and I respect him. And to be honest, by the end of it, it's like, he's a bit troublesome, but he's not that bad. I quite liked him actually because he was
Yeah.
it was all right.
He's the
was doing his job.
representation of the Air Force when the Air Force have not gotten very comfortable with Teal'c yet and are still suspicious
Yeah.
of him because they didn't
Yeah.
see what Jack saw. And that's
He
really what he's
wasn't-
doing.
He wasn't unprofessional like Kinsey or something.
Right, exactly.
So, or like Mayborn early on, he maintained a level of professionalism and he backed
Yeah.
down when he knew he'd lost, and so I was like, okay, that's
Well,
why
I think
kind of like
he
him.
wanted to use Tilk for further study.
Yeah, which is bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
He lost that battle in the end, and,
He
and he
did
and he
lose that
gracefully
battle.
walked out that door and left. So I was like, good, you get
He
out.
did.
So.
Well, many might know him as Douglas Brackman Jr. from LA Law. He played that role for 8 seasons.
Darren.
And
Darren
he
Sumner mentioned
earned
that.
a Emmy and Golden Globe nomination. And he was also in 118 episodes of Dharma and Greg. He played Larry, Dharma's father. So it was a bit more of a comedic role, but
Wow.
I think he was delightful in it.
He had some range because he was not being comedic in
No.
the show, so that's range. What a guy.
You work with the material that you're given.
Yeah,
For sure.
you do a good job. There are some people who are cast to be a certain way, so when they're able to flow between, it's good.
Good,
Yeah, absolutely.
good bad example, Nicole. So, good deal.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. I looked at it and I went, oh, perfect. I know exactly what to do, and I wanted to obviously bring him up. So
Absolutely. Good deal. All right, guys. We have one more. You ready to go?
yeah, so let's move on to the
Yes.
superior of the 2 episodes we're watching this week.
All right. Let me reset this here. And Abyss. Let me pull this up.
Accidentally started playing the episode,
Yeah.
but I've backed off.
And on purpose, stop and restart. So there we go. All right. Abyss. Here we go. In 5,
Okay.
4, 3. My name is David Reed. I'm with Nicole Rodriguez Galdo
Hello.
and Yvonne Cahill.
Hello.
We are the Wormhole Extremists, and we're rewatching Abyss.
Yes, we are. So this episode was written by Brad Wright. So it actually marks Brad's first written by credit since season 5's 2001.
Oh, wow.
And it's directed by Martin Wood, who's become quite the fixture this season. He's directed 4 out of the first 6 episodes.
Wow. There you go. When you got a guy who
And
will
they
do
are
the
bangers,
job.
mostly, except for night, whatever. What was the episode called? Actually, I completely forgot.
Nightwalkers.
I hate it that much. I forgot.
You've already blocked it from your memory.
I hate it.
This sequence is the only sequence filmed, I think by Todd Masters. If I'm not mistaken, I think
I'm not
he
sure about that.
filmed this. Who filmed this scene?
I'm actually not entirely sure, to be
Oh,
honest.
well then let me find out, Yvie. It was not filmed by Martin Wood.
There is a goof coming up. So watch Jack when he falls onto the DHD. The buttons, like some of the buttons fall loose.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, just on the right hand side. Yeah, literally one of them just
Oh
fell.
yeah.
Oh,
my
look
God,
at
I didn't realize.
that!
This is a great intro though, because it's like we had no idea this was Jack. This
It
is such
really
a great
is.
surprise. What a way to start it up.
But also like Kanan just like abandoning ship.
sure
So
did.
I can't
He just
decide
took
if he
right
was like
off.
being a coward or protecting Jack, but we don't really
No,
know.
he's not being a cow. He's not
Yeah.
protecting Jack at all.
Combination of
coward.
like he's taken over Jack in such a hostile
Yeah.
way.
Also, Baal's Jafar commander is Patrick Gallagher. So he
is.
actually pops up again in the Stargate universe as Vonos in Atlantis's Inferno.
Oh.
And he actually played Attila the Hun from Night at the Museum for all of the
Oh my
three
god!
movies.
He
Okay.
did. That's where I
um,
know him from.
He was Coach Ken Tanaka in Glee as well.
That's right. He was Coach Tanaka. I watched all of Glee.
So this episode is particularly significant as it features Michael Shanks's first appearance as Daniel Jackson since his ascension,
Yes.
and it actually earned him a Leo nomination for Best Male Guest Appearance.
Really?
Aw.
I
Yeah,
didn't
apparently.
know that.
I like that. I'm waiting for Evie to spit off more facts, but if she's done, she's done. That's
Pretty much
that's it.
done. I
Wow.
did miss one, but I can go back later.
Okay. I will say that this is an episode that irks me only in that I really am mad at the writers for continuing to make the Tok'ra Jack relationship even more sour,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
this could have really
It
been the
doesn't
thing
get
that
better for
solidified
Jack.
it.
That's true.
No,
but I like
it
the
doesn't.
tension.
I like the tension too, but damn.
James Tishner directed the opening sequence.
Ah,
Yeah.
James Tishner, what a
Yeah.
legend.
This is a cool
Um,
shot.
There is actually a bit of a goof here. So there's inconsistent damage throughout this episode with Jack's shirt, but you'll notice when he first wakes up, the shirt is intact, but in the close-up, you already see the knife wound in his upper left chest before he even receives the injury.
Oh, probably
that?
reusing shots from
Oh,
later. They're
there.
reusing shots
Yeah,
from later.
wow.
Yeah,
Didn't notice it.
very silly. This is when Baal first starts to, really get on our
Yes,
radar.
that's correct.
Since last season.
I
Yeah.
remember watching. Well, I'll explain it as we get to it. Hopefully, Evie won't have a bullet point,
Fact.
a factoid.
No, I don't have as many for this episode.
I do wish they wouldn't spoil the special guest appearance thing like immediately. Like I wish they'd
They
wait.
should have not included Michael Shanks's
Yeah.
name. I think that would have been
It was
a bit more
so
special.
publicized at the
Excuse
time.
me.
Bless you.
Woo.
Everyone
Ah.
who knew anything about the show online knew that this was coming.
Okay.
And keep in mind, the preview aired the week before, so
I really do
True,
hate
yeah.
how the preview spoiled so many episodes.
that's how they get people to tune in
I
because it's a
know.
radio
That's
thing.
true. It's a vicious circle.
I love his outfit, by
so-
the way, with the
Me too.
Yeah.
the coupling thing on the front there. So
This is
brooch.
Dorian's final Stargate appearance as Torrin.
is he still alive? I don't think he's alive.
I don't know.
Dorian Harwood, is it?
Yeah, Harewood.
Mm.
No, he's still around. Man, I'm knocking all these characters off, and they're not even dead yet. Okay, we've suffered a lot of losses lately. I'm
There've
sorry.
been so many that we're just
Yeah.
assuming that
have.
people aren't with us anymore because it's getting that
That's
depressing.
it. We've lost Obi. We've lost Tony Todd. So,
Mm.
And not even Stargate related, but we lost Andre Brower, and we lost
Brower.
we lost so many people like Matthew Perry.
Matthew
And,
Perry.
Oh my god, who did we lose? Who's Darth Vader?
James
brain,
Earl.
no work.
Yeah.
James L. Jones.
James L. Jones. Yeah.
Brain work.
Some legends for sure.
Oh, but
So I love how
he
the
spits that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how Torrin's like trying to blame Jack. Like the guy came to Tok'ra, came to the Tok'ra for help, and now suddenly he's like responsible for Kanan going off script. Like
Yeah.
that's not how protective
That's
custody
Kanan.
works.
Yeah.
I love how Brad points this out. Their perspective here. You spit the word symbiote as though you spoke of vermin.
Yeah.
Yet they have been fighting a war longer than any of these folks have lived, and that's that's a cool.
The lack of
point.
respect for the Tok'ra really, really, I'm gonna say it pisses me off.
Yeah,
Like it's I don't
like
care
them too
how.
much.
I don't care how much you don't like them. Give
Yeah.
them the respect they deserve. They should respect Earth back in a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
it goes both ways. But I do think that the way that they nastily refer to them when they
Yep.
are the lesser species, unfortunately, in the galaxy in terms of technology and time, they don't know the real
Yeah.
struggle the Tok'ra have been going through all this time. So
Production designer
Yeah.
Bridget McGuire, she did an amazing job. James Robbins designs. This is an
this is
amazing
incredible.
sequence. And when Cliff Simon walked in, I'm getting shivers. I'm getting shivers right now.
Yeah.
When I
Rip
originally
Cliff.
watched this episode, I was terrified. I was scared. I was actually scared about what was going to happen to
Same.
Jack here. And
don't
that
know what
didn't
he's
happen
capable
very
of.
often in the show,
No.
this more comic book kind of villain. But I mean, I'm getting the same chills that I got when I first saw the episode because I was like, oh my God, I don't know
by
what's
the
going to
end-
happen.
of the show, he is just Baal. He's just daddy, and I mean that in the dirty way.
So I understand that most of these intense interrogation scenes actually had Cliff Simon performing opposite a stand-in, not
Dan
IDA,
Shay.
due to Rick's reduced filming schedule. So I think fun fact, in season 10's The Quest, Baal has to give up one of these torture knives, claiming it has like great sentimental value.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was the same knife.
Well, someone online said it looked different, but it was, I think, supposed to be the same knife.
Okay. Well, that makes that would make a
but-
lot of sense.
I love the set design because it's like Jack is trapped in Baal's web.
Yes.
Like it's not very
Yeah.
subtle, but it's like it's damn effective.
Yeah.
Straight up though,
Also,
Cliff Simon's
we missed
beautiful.
a goof.
Mm.
The knife actually went when the screen was like a little bit further back. It actually went into his right shoulder and then it transported to the left.
Really? I thought it hit his left shoulder. His
No,
left
I
shoulder.
double checked it. I
Okay,
double checked
really?
it, and
I'm
it
gonna have to go back and
definitely
watch.
it was definitely further along than it actually shows.
Interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, there's that hole from when he's from the beginning of the episode when he wakes up. So
Exactly.
So I make the comments about how beautiful Cliff is and all that stuff and how daddy he is. But like straight up, he was one of the nicest people I've ever met.
great guy.
Mhm.
And I didn't know him as well as like other people did, but I do miss the fact that we don't have him with us anymore. He was a
Yeah.
good egg.
I called him a friend. I could reach out to him for anything. He was wonderful, and I took his loss really hard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
the thing. It was very painful to watch as a friend of yours as well.
Yeah,
so.
it was. Yeah.
I
And,
just
well,
did a-
I just
meme with him, so I loved it. So
Yeah.
he's now in my meme world.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you're really into your memes at the moment. You've been going ham.
One
Good
or
job.
two a
We
day.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been spitting them out.
He is just
You know-
delicious here as a
Yeah.
villain.
So I'm quite irked by the fact that the woman they chose to be the female, to be another, blonde, short-haired woman. It's like, stop giving Jack short-haired blondes. It's upsetting because they all just feel like
It's
copies
his
of Sam.
type.
It is. It's quite frustrating to see. I want Sam to be more than just his type,
Where do you think he hit him with that one?
I think straight through the heart.
You think through the heart?
Probably. Yeah. I think it was his first refresh.
I figured it went like through his
Second
head.
refresh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh God, imagine.
I don't know. I just figure it went through the torso.
So this is the first time Jack's died since the Knox?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
If we don't count 2010, then yeah.
But he's gonna
Yeah, we
definitely outdo Daniel just in this episode
Yeah, in
alone.
this episode.
This is true.
I wish Daniel's made a joke about that, being like, yeah, you've died more than I have now.
We see 3 loops at least.
Yeah,
So
but we
the
know
first one he
so
was just
much.
revived. He
Yeah.
wasn't dead. Unless he was dead. I don't think he was dead.
No, I think he
I don't
was
think
dead.
he was dead.
He was just
He
shot
had
in the shoulder.
Staff weapon wound.
Yeah.
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 Maybe it
There's
wasn't.
that shot.
This is so cool. Like I still think about this all the time.
Martin Wood
this is
had
actually
great set design.
nuts. This is great.
Well,
He had
did,
a little mock-up model for it.
I watched that. I watched the videos for that.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes stuff. It was great.
Cool.
Because I was
I
so
was
interested
trying to
in
find the
looking at
behind the scenes stuff everywhere and I couldn't find it.
And the things on the
DVDs.
side for I have it all for you if you want it. But the knives or whatever they are on the side that change position depending on the direction of the enclosure.
The way he's like, can I smash through this? No. It's just... all right.
Pretty solid.
Oh, this is great.
Okay, so
oh,
this is
this shot was crazy.
Shailene is played by a Danish actress, Ulla Friis.
Mm-hmm.
So this was her only Stargate appearance, but she actually has an interesting connection to the franchise. She's married to actor Jodie Graham, who showed up twice in the series. He played Colonel Ludlow in the SG-1 episode Uninvited, and he later returned as a Jedi soldier in the Atlantis episode The Eye.
So I want to say quickly about the behind the scenes here that I know is that when she first appears, for shots of her looking down where you can actually see Jack, they actually had her up there and they had like a plank. She was being like held up.
Almost like an ironing board that
plank.
she was laying on. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
To get that shot. I remember the behind the scenes it was very exciting to watch.
This is a great series of scenes.
I just pushed my shoe through you.
So I was able to catch like some of the behind the scenes stuff, but not all of it. And in the footage that I did watch, Brad Wright talked about needing a real reason for Daniel's return. They didn't want him just popping in like Clarence the Angel in It's a Wonderful Life and just fixing problems. And Michael Shanks also wanted Daniel to stay fundamentally Daniel, not some omnipotent being. He's just a friend, helping a friend who happens to be invisible to everyone else.
And the 2 times that he shows up, well, 3 times. The first 2 are when colleagues are at death's door, and the third is when his people are at death's door.
Exactly.
And he never
Pretty good
sees
reasons.
Sam, like,
No,
on
he
her
doesn't go
own.
and see
That
Sam.
really
I feel bad
annoys
for
me.
Sam, and she even mentions it too, doesn't
Really?
she?
Yeah, you never.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of was the perfect episode for RDA's return after he had knee surgery, didn't he?
Oh,
Because
okay.
like you can see that he is limping a little bit, but you can kind of explain it away as like some of Baal's handiwork that wasn't like fully healed by the sarcophagus. He's definitely favoring his right knee.
That's why he was gone for that long for knee surgery?
Yeah, I
I
think
didn't
so.
know that. Okay, I thought he just wanted time
And then
off to be
in
with
the
his
next
family.
episode, don't they talk about it as well? Don't they bring it up? Doesn't like Jacob say something at some point as well? Or, like,
Oh, yeah.
they're talking and Jack says it to Jacob or something.
Because he is actually referencing actual personal injuries, yeah.
Yeah, I like the Stargate does that. It's like, hey, you know what? Stuff happens to people.
Right, yeah,
Bring
my
it up.
appendix, yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, it was like closed off.
Jean Diada said, hello, sweater of enlightenment. Good to see you again. I do love his enlightenment sweater. It is like a vibe.
Yep.
Enlightenment sweater.
I remember seeing some memes going around of the fact that Knives Out came out and Chris Evans was wearing a very similar sweater.
yeah.
Yes.
And everyone was like, Michael Shanks did it first. And I
This
was
is
like,
the
yes.
second time he's worn this sweater. Do you know when the first was?
I
wasn't
know
it?
that
Was
he's
when
won it
his
before.
wife
I can't
Forever and a
quite
Day.
remember.
died. Yeah.
Yeah, in the
Of
Visions.
course.
Yeah.
Glad I remembered that. Look at me. Woo, trivia. Put that in there next time.
We never see the exterior of this place. I would have
No.
No, we
loved to have
don't.
seen it.
But it kind of adds to the dark.
Yeah,
The
you have
history.
no idea what it looks like. Yeah, except that it's a
Yeah.
fortress.
Like it's very claustrophobic that he goes between two rooms this whole time. So it's like ooh, very eerie. Randall says from the Ascended Being line of sweaters, JC Penney. I like that.
Uh, I like how Daniel offers him like the ultimate get out of jail free card
And he doesn't
ascension.
want it.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Well, he doesn't think he's
think
worthy.
he's worthy. He thinks he's
Yeah.
going to hell. You know, if he thinks he's
Yeah.
going anywhere, he said that in season 3. He knows he's done some bad stuff. Regardless of the reason. Yeah, you think he doesn't? You think he likes that?
I wanted Hammond to burst out into like, be our guest, put our service to the test. You know, like from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Who's the beauty and who's the beast in this one? I want it to be Teal'c being the beast. I want to see him get up and sing.
Comfortable quarters.
I love how like overly polite they're being. It's great.
You guys are all being
Oh.
such just
Yeah.
douchebags.
Yeah,
All of
if
you.
they keep going this way. Look at Tilt's face.
Yeah,
honestly,
there's
this
all
is-
3 of them.
Breaks my heart seeing this much hate developing between them. There's no need for all this animosity.
They
Everyone
don't
needs
need
to
to
chill.
be that secretive. It's not like we're turning around and snitching on you.
Yeah. They've never trusted each other from day one, and I understand why the Turk are the way they are, but I do think that the Earth needs to chill because it's very hard to change your ways after so long. You know, it takes time.
Give me something.
Next plane of existence out of here.
Yeah, that's not enough for him.
Yeah.
I don't even know
He
how
could at
would
least
be
be
able to
like,
do it.
there's the Simpsons in Ascended Land, you know?
Yeah.
Like try and bribe him
So
in.
I actually saw another interesting take on this platitude on Reddit. Someone said that it's actually connected to an old parable about a hungry man who spends hours searching for matches by candlelight to light his stove, only to go to bed hungry.
Yeah.
And he actually had like the perfect candle with him the whole time. So it's all about being so fixated on one solution that you miss the obvious answer right in front of you.
Yeah. So good. That's so interesting. I know that sounded really disingenuous. That really was legitimately very interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too.
Yeah.
You can't get him any hardware.
Yeah. So I wanted to go back a little bit and just discuss Terry Campbell's review on Gate World. So they pointed out something kind of cool, that these like gravity defying scenes feel very MC Escher inspired. He was actually a Dutch artist famous for like these mind-bending drawings that play with gravity. And if you look up his pieces, there's one called Otherworld and one called Relativity, and it looks very similar to what they're trying to do here. I thought was kind of cool. And Terry also noted how the Gothic set design with all its stained glass and wrought iron was perfect for Bile's manipulative personality.
Yep.
And also the haunting score as well kind of really drives home how alone and desperate Jack is.
I like it. They're really trying to they're trying to find a way to pick a hole in Canaan, and it's so difficult to do that because you could pick a hole in anything.
This is my the only issue with this episode.
Yeah.
You know that
They're grasping.
Yeah. So he loved her. So Jack made him realize that he still loved her. So he went back. So
Mm.
Is it just me, or does this vial of acid look suspiciously like salad dressing?
Yeah, I'm getting hungry again. Lovely. Don't know, bruh. You are a Gould. You know that some stuff just don't entirely stick, my guy. Chill. It's so funny how Ball can go from this to like, I was so happy to see him every time he popped up in SG-1, even if I wanted to punch him every time. I was so happy
Yeah.
to see him. Like he became more of a nuisance than a bad guy.
starting to lose control.
Yeah, I hate that he says that. I don't care about protecting the Tok'ra. It's like, Jack, I
Oh,
know
he
you're
hates
mad,
them.
but
He
like,
doesn't hate them, but he doesn't like them.
I know, and it makes me
Yeah.
sad because it's like,
Well,
Jack, be better.
he was suspicious of them to begin with, and I think it was just Jacob's presence that was kind of holding, like, I
The
don't know,
reason he's
his
nice,
trust in
yeah.
place with the Tok'ra, but like
Yeah.
this has just pushed it way over the edge.
Sucks. I hate they did this. I don't know why the writers were like, we need to create more issues between the humans and the Tok'ra, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess
wanna
it's
ask.
just the whole big picture is that war ain't pretty.
I guess. Still sucks.
I wonder if the "I just told you" just realized it is said twice. I wonder if it was only said once in the script and they just duplicated the line.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good target.
Lots of yeah, lots of practice, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love, he's basically used like Pepto-Bismol to like neutralize the salad dressing.
Yeah. I just did a meme for this scene. I don't know if I sent it to you guys. Human target board. I guess not.
No. You just
No, I
sent
don't
it
think
where?
I saw that one.
Human dartboard, yeah. So you'll see it.
Okay.
Shaylin.
So I was reading about how they had like a movable wall,
Yeah.
which was supposed to be to help RDA. I'm not sure which removable wall they're talking about, but I think it was sort of modified because of his knee injury. So
The wall's kind
they
of
sort of had
split
to
from the behind the
yeah,
scenes. You
they
can
had to
see
like
it.
utilize
Yeah.
some creative set designs.
Yeah.
I want those shoes.
Like when they're sitting opposite each other, the wall where the camera obviously is, that's the wall that goes.
Yeah.
Because I saw that, I think.
This is a great line.
Which is ironic because you're not
who's
there,
talking.
Daniel.
Exactly. Look
Yeah.
who's talking.
But apparently they can
Exactly.
see him if he wants them to, so.
Yeah. It makes so much sense for Daniel to come back in this way. Like this is just so perfect for his character. Like even like there are situations of TV shows where they have to write out major characters, right? But this is just the most perfect way to write out Daniel.
It's a
It
great
just works
excuse.
so well
Yeah.
for him. Yeah. He's done with you now. He's salty.
Here we go. Yeah.
Hmm.
I guess he hasn't
You're
interacted with Anubis yet.
No.
Yeah, he really tries that, doesn't he? He's like, I'm gonna break all the rules at once, and it's not gonna work.
He does, yeah.
Very cool scene though. Very
But
excited
you're
for
an
that.
all-powerful being, but you can't use your power.
Yeah. Hmm.
Busy.
Mm.
So in some of the interviews that they did behind the scenes, Michael Shanks talked about like the simplicity of these scenes between Jack and Daniel. Like
Yeah.
they're absolutely like completely stripped down. There's no props, there's no distractions. It's just like pure acting. And we're so used to seeing Jack sort of channeling his nervous energy into playing with something, and here he can't. So even his
Such a good
usual
point.
like playing dumb act gets called out by Daniel. Like another defense mechanism is like stripped away from him.
That's why
So
he
he's
took
like
his shoe off. He
completely
needed something to play
exposed.
with.
That's it.
Yeah, with no one nowhere to hide, and there's like nothing to deflect with, which I think just amplifies like just how vulnerable and raw he's feeling.
That is
And
such a
that's
good
what I think
analysis.
makes these scenes hit so hard.
Well,
Was that your analysis?
Yes.
You're a genius.
Yep. It's the darkest place that Jack will ever go.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of the pit, Daniel's there with him.
Yes.
And I love this line. The Asgard didn't name a
Yeah.
shift after you because they thought it was a cool name. Yep.
We're about to get Jack's
I feel like
line.
Daniel's never given him this speech in like while he was alive. So this is
Yeah.
great. It's beautiful. Ooh.
You'd be here for me. Yep. But you can't. They won't let you do it.
No.
Yeah.
And you'd lose.
You're a better man.
Oh.
So there was like a discussion online about the brilliance of that particular line
Yeah.
and how it was delivered. Like many of the commenters sort of drew comparisons to Jack's "I lost my son" line from
Yep.
Window of
Yeah.
Opportunity. And one Redditor put, the line is so well said with so much pain and anger. It really
Yep.
shows just how conflicted Jack was inside.
Rick is never going to be better again than he is in this scene. What everything that comes after this doesn't compare.
There's nothing
is
ever
not as
like
deep.
nothing
Yeah.
this emotional is ever going
Nope.
to happen to Jack again.
Nope.
This is the most.
This
we're
is
gonna
as
get
raw
from him.
as he gets. Everything
Yeah.
else is
Yep.
much more surface. And that's a shame.
Yeah. Well, Stargate doesn't really have the luxury to play around with people's emotions. I think we're super lucky that we get what we get with this show, given
Yeah.
the kind of show that it is. So the fact that they've given an episode to having Jack locked in a room with his bestie, who's like back from the afterlife, is so twisted and beautiful, and it's like raw.
In season 10, they announced an episode called The Shroud, in which Daniel and Jack were going to go toe of toe. And I'm like, oh, this is Daniel's abyss. He's a prior now. And instead we got Jack Merlin. Oh, yes, Merlin. And I'm like, this is not what I had in mind. I was hoping for another abyss, and we didn't get it.
Yeah.
Aw.
No, but Daniel got so many beautiful, like Vala was kind of like his emotions for season 10. It's like Daniel became kind of a bit more of a Jack. He became closed off by the end, and Vala kind of brought that
I
out.
hate that scene in Unending.
He was her Jack. Yeah. Well, she was his Jack, sorry. Yeah. Go romantic,
Thinking,
guys.
Carter is thinking.
Yeah, sounds like I love Jack. Let's go with this.
Ah, that's an interesting thought.
Look at all the food on the table, guys.
Yeah, I think it's
Was it
I
orange
think it's just
slices?
orange peel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's eating an orange.
Get that citrus. Keep those bowels
That
moving.
vitamin C. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot you comes into play in this episode.
Daddy,
He
you.
does.
I forgot
It's
all
great,
about
though.
that.
I love
It's
him
really
so
great.
much. He's, as I said, guys, he's always there when you need him. Always, without fail. My guy, you. Except for when he's having a bit of a mental health crisis.
Yeah, but that's not his fault. I mean, he
No.
really doesn't see Earth as an ultimate adversary.
No.
He sees them as an
Earth is-
annoyance,
Yeah.
but
It's not top on his list.
It's not top
No.
on his list. He lived in China for a long period of time, and I think
Then he
he's got
moved.
a bit of a soft spot for us.
Yeah, I agree. I love it.
Good old you.
I love him so much.
I wish I could get Vince on the show.
I wish he would come.
Yeah.
I can't get a hold of him.
I wish we could send him like all my obsession of you, everyone else's love
Yeah,
of you.
I would
like,
pay
get
him.
on it.
I would pay him to come on.
Yeah.
So
See, Teal'c's trying to be like, do the Tok'ra love enough for this to happen?
Hmm.
I'm with Teal'c on this.
Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
about Jack?
Yeah. So here's the thing, they're all connecting the dots a little bit. You know, Sam's like, oh, romance. Teal'c's like, well, would they? And Jonas is like, oh, but Jack is now a Tok'ra. 1 +
Yeah.
1 = 2, guys.
I mean, and Selmak is the same way. Selmak fell in love with
That's
Earth.
true.
He
Yeah.
he started stealing silverware for us.
Yeah.
Silverware. So, I just love how like this whole episode sort of flips the usual symbiote host
Yeah.
dynamic. Like instead of focusing on what the host learns from the symbiote, we see how Kanan was influenced by Jack's like core belief system. And that, you never leave anyone behind. Like, I just think
Yeah.
it's a good spin.
Are
It's
these?
interesting
Is
'cause,
this the
you know-
conversation that they had before we saw the opening? Of this episode? Is that
I'm
why he's
assuming
replaying
so,
this
yeah.
again and again? Because he
Maybe,
went and got her
yeah.
out of the cell.
I think it's a memory.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he's kind of losing it at this stage, so yeah,
Yeah.
He's
probably
coming
is
untethered.
a memory.
He's so muted. He's slowly dying as he's being killed. It's the sarcophagus.
He's like-
It's like it's.
He's
it's
losing
a
his
drug.
soul.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come untethered. That's why Ball is starting to get, and Ball knows exactly what's happening. So
Of course he
the
does.
human
Look at
body
his
can only do so
smile.
much.
What you said earlier as well, by the way, about seeing how the human, like brain affects like how the Togra is feeling. I wonder how much of that slips into a Gould.
Well,
I
and
know
he's
they
not
don't mind
stupid.
meld,
He
but yeah.
believes Jack.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as soon as he decides that Jack has nothing more, he'll kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Which is funny because down the line, they've got a really weird bromance going on, and I'm obsessed with it.
I think that Ball had, and it's a question that I never asked Cliff. Damn it. I think that Ball had a respect for Jack because
Yeah.
of how long he lasted.
Yeah.
Well, he mentions it. I think he says something in passing.
Yeah, he gets a bit snide in season 8, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Gets a bit sassy with him.
That line,
Jack's being Jack.
dig them out. And then he shuts his
Yeah.
eyes. He's like, oh God, this is not going to end.
Well, I was going to say, I think according to Martin Wood, who directed this episode, apparently IDA used to tease Cliff Simon about his mustache, jokingly
beautiful.
that he should be doing some classic like villain mustache twirling.
Yes.
And I think the funny part was that Cliff actually had this like unconscious habit of stroking his like upper lip. And Martin sort of had to ask him to stop because it was making Ball look less intimidating.
Kanan got in. He just didn't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the whole like leave no man behind, but there's also like don't, go get one man and get everyone else killed. There's a balance to it.
Good shot here.
Yeah.
It is.
And
Yeah.
It plays in later.
I love the way that he's like prepared every time now. He's always like, let me just adapt quickly. Let me just move before it all like, let me lie down.
Exactly. He knows
Well,
what's
and they give him
happening with the
patience. They're
directionality.
patient with him.
He was like, give me 1 second
Yeah, and
to
they
lie
do.
down.
They do. So they give him a chance.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I'm guessing that those arrows are kind of meant to be reminiscent of the knives.
Yeah.
It's possible. Yeah, that's a good point because they are very similar, like looking in design. aren't they?
Daggers, I guess.
Ball is a knife
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, he is.
I guess it's almost like a taunt.
Yeah.
Like it's like a constant reminder.
Mm-hmm. You'd think
These
they would be
knives will
more of
see you
his
in a
symbol,
few.
but they're not. Right.
Yeah.
He's not-
It's more like psychological because like a symbol isn't that threatening, right? But the
Yeah.
knife.
This is one of my
That's a
favorite
lot more
sets from the
threatening.
whole show.
The fire hazard.
Oh
Yeah,
my
which
gosh,
took us,
yes.
like,
It's a concrete
Every
base.
time. Every time. Yeah, thank God.
Did Daniel
Field might
come
not
to
make
him?
it.
Is this Daniel's work?
Yeah, it's all insinuated, but
It's Daniel's
it's
way
like-
of cheating.
So it is Daniel.
Tilk's like,
Yeah.
though 10,000 candles burn in my base quarters, there's
Yeah.
somebody home.
Right.
Evie! That was so good. That was
So lame.
Evie, use it at some point, season 8, when we get back to Omer again. Do it again. Do it
Yeah,
again.
absolutely.
Write it down. Oh, that made me smile so much. But I love I feel like when this happens, right, when Daniel went and did that, I feel like he like, Omer was like, hey, what are you doing? And he was like, nothing. Look, took thought of it himself. Don't worry about it. You know?
Yeah. Well, I just love how he's like, his plan is to play the Goa'uld like against each other. Like, let them do the heavy lifting.
Yeah. Yeah. Chibi Me said, flash forward to the quest season 9 when Bars dig up his dagger because sentimental value. Yeah, we said earlier. Yeah, he's a knife guy, man. He's like, he really likes them knives.
We know that they sometimes share your deepest, darkest secrets. It's not in there, man.
Yeah, it's going.
He is holding something back.
Yeah, he's holding her back, like his love for her. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Has he even touched him this time around?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Not yet. He's just tired. Oh,
I'm sure he is. Boo-hoo.
cry.
I need to have more Tok'ra on my show.
Chibi Me said, I'm of the opinion that the dagger is one of the dagger, the one from the quest is the same one used on O'Neill. That's what we said earlier, yeah.
Yeah, that's why he has sentimental value.
Yeah. Which is actually kind of gross and annoying. I never thought that.
He's sick.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense, but I think someone on Reddit said that they do actually look different, but I think maybe they lost the first prop or something. I don't know.
I mean, what's it to them to, give up the outpost of one Goa'uld? So, might as well try it.
Exactly.
So somber.
Yeah, he's lost all hope. Also, he has the longest eyelashes.
I wish I had longer eyelashes.
Yeah, me too. It's always men that have the most gorgeous eyelashes.
Honestly, what the hell is that about?
What about?
Men having longer eyelashes than us?
I know. It's just one of those, ironies of the universe.
Oh, yeah, it's like women are supposed to bat their eyelashes in all the, the cliches. So, like, where are my eyelashes to bat?
Yeah. I've seen enough fake ones to sink a ship, and they're ugly.
Yeah.
Some of them are a bit intense. Yeah.
I'm not a fan. My friend gets these tiny ones that are realistic put in, like individual lashes, and that's pretty good.
That's cool, yeah.
Don't give him what he wants.
Here we go.
He's trying so hard to be a good man.
Well, he's trying to last.
Keep that one semblance, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he does know, yeah. And it's as simple as that. It has nothing to do with Ball.
No. I've never seen RDA be like so quiet like this. Like in the whole show, he's never been like this. This is broken. I love the way that you said as well, like you were gone. Like he goes, you were gone. Like he's like a sad, like almost like a child being like,
he's like a shadow
my
of himself. Yeah.
Like Daniel's there to protect him, make him feel better, and he's not there.
The nice thing about this place is it's all gravity wells. There are no needs for doors. So if they can shut the power off, he can just walk out. And I'm sure there are some doors. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are. But the doors will be fewer.
Ian said we go bald though with age, so you win in the end. Yeah, because
not everyone goes.
Not
bald
everyone
with
does.
age, though.
No, but it tends to be more likely.
Oh, here we go. This is a great transition shot where he pretends in this next shot to be in one position, but he's really just kind of like a running position.
Yeah.
Well, position. You know what I just caught though? Daniel and Tilk both use the same phrase, a fighting chance. So cool. So I think that was sort of Brad Wright's subtle hint that Daniel planted this like Lord You idea in Tilk's mind.
I think he did.
And even Michael Shanks said that Daniel, ever the diplomat, found a sneaky little loophole to the Ascended Beings rules. Yeah.
Oh, wow. He's letting him have it. Just getting a little bit of it
that
out
angle,
there.
I got broker divide PTSD.
Yeah, exactly. This is what he would have done to Brother Malchus had he not had his sidearm.
Brother Malchus, yeah.
Good old brother Malchus. Did you hit your head, dear, when we lost power? I love her. She is lovely.
She is. She's so petite.
She reminds me of
Look at
that
her.
French actress that's in the Death Stranding games and is in
Okay.
and is in the Cinderella, no, Beauty and the Beast French version. She's reminds me of her. I don't remember her name right now. It's like Lucy something or whatever. I don't remember.
Good transition.
Very good.
It is
You
a
think
good
he's been
transition.
caught and then he hasn't.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm not sure what that piece of medical technology was, but it was a nice transition.
Well, it obviously wasn't important.
Yeah.
So wheeling it away.
It's a vitamin D machine because he's been underground.
Vitamin D machine.
Just give him all that light.
Oh, the team are back together.
Mostly.
Raj Luthra agreed, Yvie. It looks like Daniel did plant the idea, a loophole around the Ascended rule book.
Yeah, I love it
Yeah.
because I don't think I caught that the first, couple of times that I watched this
Really?
episode. Yeah.
I always assumed that was that was Daniel helping because he always finds ways.
Great
Huh.
shot.
Very interesting the way everyone, sees things differently.
Mm.
Yeah.
Special occasion.
Christmas.
I love how he mentions
Groundhog
Groundhog
Day.
Day because, given the repetitive nature of the torture sequences, it kind of
Yeah.
fits.
I've got my journey. You've got yours.
Yeah.
Lockwatcher.
So,
Surgeon General warning: sarcophagus should not be used for continuous life restoration. Side effects include irritability, body aches, psychotic behavior, and dry tongue.
Dry tongue, yeah.
Sorry, you were saying?
I was going to say, Joe Malozzi shared some interesting insights about this episode's themes and challenges. I think he said that while Sam and Jack would have sort of had meaningful discussions about Jack's traumatic experience, the episode pacing didn't really allow for it. And he also said that Jack's experience remained a source of discomfort for the character, with Jack referring to forget it entirely rather than utilize any residual Gorbald knowledge.
Good night. I'll be saying that to you guys in a minute because I got a 9 a.m.
You're
meeting.
right, exactly.
And it was almost
And I
midnight.
think this episode's extends to a matter of honor, where we learn that Ball's fortress on Asdad wasn't completely destroyed, but just heavily damaged. And we also discover that Daniel's attempt to help Jack ascend remained one of his memories from his time as an ascended being.
Asdad was the name of the planet?
Asdad, yeah.
From where?
I don't know. It might have been in one of the novels, or they bring it up in that other episode.
Oh, okay, interesting. A matter of honor, the book, you mean?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah. Anyway, I think Brad Wright has said that he considers the scenes between Jack and Daniel among the finest in Stargate's history, and I think I would maybe agree. They were very good scenes.
By the way, I made a boo-boo mistake. Death Stranding. I meant Leia Seydoux. I don't know how to say that in French, but she plays Fragile. That's who she always reminds me of. That's the
She
first
plays
person I
Fragile?
know. The character's name is Fragile. Death Stranding is very...
Okay. I've not played it
know.
yet, but I've been looking forward to it
Hideo
for a long time.
Kojima is a wonderful man.
Okay.
Good episode.
Great episode. Thanks for watching Abyss.
Gecko Fett as dad, as in Daddy Ball. Thank you, Gecko Fett, for getting
This episode is a 7 out of 7. It is exemplary writing, exemplary storytelling, exemplary acting, exemplary character development, all the way down. Jack is never as good again, period. Only as good in certain episodes, like certain scenes, like Window of Opportunity, Red Sky, where we see his intensity, where Richard Dean Anderson is put in a corner and forced to act the hell out of it, and in order to get out of it, and he does. I wish there was more of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Cliff Simon was
that's an
amazing. That's my
excellent
thought.
point. Yeah, it's an excellent point because I guess RDA's acting is sort of it's pretty consistent all the way through. But it means that these sorts of episodes and these sorts of moments really stand out because he's just sort of going above and beyond and really acting his pants off, so to speak. So
The
this
pants
episode
clean
does,
off.
yeah, this episode does definitely like stick out in my mind among like the hundreds of episodes that he was on as being like a standout performance. So I think that the directing was really good. I liked the set design. Cliff Simon was amazing. I just yeah, I really enjoyed this episode too. So I think it would also be a 7. I can't think of any bad things about this episode, so
I mentioned it, the contrivance of, figuring out the
Yeah.
reason of what happened. That's the only thing.
mm,
So, yeah.
So I found this episode, I've always had a bit of a gripe with it actually. So I think I've always got beef about the Toka relationship being forced to go downhill. I feel like there were so many other things they could have done, and this is where this episode is a great example of it devolving, and it's only going to devolve from now on. And by season 8, it's basically just not there, and that always annoys me. Yeah, I Bal was good. I really enjoyed seeing him. I mean, I love Cliff. He's great. The best part is obviously just Daniel and Jack, and I love seeing Daniel again. But to me, the episode is actually it's all right. It has some moments where I'm like, and I'm a bit bored, but then it has moments of great acting where it's really Richard Hanson's going above and beyond. I would actually probably say that it's a lot lower than what I'm about to give it if it wasn't for RDA's performance. So I'm giving this a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just not top tier Stargate for me. There's a lot of elements in it that are great.
You
but
rationalized it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's me. Okay. But it's a damn good time, and it's a highlight of season 6, and I'm sad that it's going to go pretty downhill from here. So,
So, Yvie, you said hundreds of Stargate episodes, and that made me think, did he clear 200 episodes? I don't think he did. So, with SG-1 Atlantis and Universe, Richard Dean Anderson has appeared in 187 Stargate episodes.
whoa,
so close.
Yeah.
So close to quit
That's a
my
good
gosh.
trivia question.
Yeah.
that is a good one.
That's if
that's
IMDb
me.
can be
It's me.
taken for...
I got asked during the Stargate movie one, I got asked all the behind the scenes stuff.
You
I would
sure
not know
did.
unless I did that.
I
It
know,
was
man.
brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Jeremy and
I did
Sonia
actually
carried the
watch
day.
most of that
You
episode.
did.
I
Yeah.
got bullied, and Jeff bullied me as well, which is very funny. I loved it. No, it was no.
Only because we know that you can handle it.
Well, clearly I can't. I got the Spanish question by pure luck. I
got
was
half
like,
of
thank
it.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God I
Yeah.
know half of the answer because I know Spanish.
La
Right.
Puerta.
La Puerta. Well, it's really Puerto, but some people say
Puerto.
Puerto. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Puerto. So Raj Luther said my rating for this episode is 7 out of 7. Lockwatcher said this is 7 for me. Bal is the gold version of Kinsey. Love to hate him. Loved the tech side of these scenes. Banter between Jack and Daniel was the best of the entire series. Best of season 6. Yeah. Kinsey, the comparison there was quite spicy. I don't know if I'd call him a Kinsey, but I'd say in terms of the banter and some of the hate.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is-
maybe.
yeah.
I think
Mayborn.
More
yeah,
Mayborn.
I think he's.
I think
I mean,
Mayborn.
Kinsey's very one-dimensional to me.
Yeah.
Because you can
I don't
see
know.
a Ball O'Neill teaming up episode.
I respect your opinion, Lockwatcher.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Gene Diada, there are not enough chevrons in all the galaxies for this one. 7 all day, every day, especially with Daniel being back and the sweater. So I knew Gene Diada was going to say that. I should have called it beforehand because I knew. Ian, I say 7 because it never gets boring. Anthony, the episode is a 6 for me, 5 for the episode, and 1 for Cliff Simon playing Ball. So 6 total.
Okay.
Jacob also rated the episode a 6 before he pieced out.
Okay.
Get to go. Chibi Me, 7 out of 7. I just wish we got a Sam-centric episode with the sound of Daniel. Thank you. Yes, another of my complaints.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, me too.
That'd be a great SG-1 novel.
I'd read it.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
make sure that she forgot that he had come to her.
Dan Ben, 6 out of 7. Gecko Fett, 7 out of 7. We'll watch every time. Everything was amazing from acting to music to set and even the costumes. Mac Bolan's Conscience, it's a great episode. 6. Shimmering Victoria, 5. 'tis very aesthetically pleasing. It is. Tis.
It is indeed. Tis.
Candy rated this episode a 7 earlier as well. Before they left, they did.
Speaking of ratings, if you haven't liked the episode yet, please give us a like. It really does make a difference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anthony said the movie trivia was really hard, Nicole. Thank you, Anthony, for the pity. Urias Tosh gave it a 4 chevrons there. Yeah. Speaking of the movie thing, Jeff was even like, you got some doozies. And I was like, I know, Jeff. And he was like, wow, you got very unlucky. I'm like, yes, as always.
She did. They got slapped around a few times.
Yeah.
So who can you blame for that? Is it ChatGPT?
Yeah.
I used randomize the questions?
To randomize the.
Didn't they randomize them incorrectly though? At some point, it was someone's
some
question?
of them, because several people submitted the same question. And I wasn't able to give it that. There were already 1 or 2 pivot tables installed in that equation that I gave it, and it couldn't get past that one. So it's like, sorry.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think somebody on one pair, I think might have been Sonia's team, got like kind of like almost a freebie, almost. So from that, but I chose not to have an issue with it because it was ChatGPT's fault. So
I chose.
How magnanimous of you!
AI is working against me. Look at it. The uprising is already upon us, and AI is coming for me personally.
Personally, I can't imagine why.
Yeah. Oh God.
You are redundant.
I'm a lover of the robots, Battlestar Galactica. Come on, but yeah.
All right,
so,
guys, this was
what a good time, guys.
A great pair of episodes.
What do we have next week?
Well, okay,
pair
of episodes. Yes, for next week,
Shadow Play,
which I actually already watched today because I wanted to welcome Doug Abrams in.
Of course.
So Shadow Play and The Other Guys, Sunday, November the 17th.
I love The Other Guys.
That's
at
12
noon
noon Pacific time.
When a bad episode is followed by a fun, good episode.
It's a good balance. It's
like
better than
Nightwalkers.
just a weekend that sucks.
Yeah, didn't we have that with Jeff as well, where we had to watch the
One False Step,
yeah, and then we got Jeff's,
followed by his episode.
That's
yeah,
true.
it was like, thank God I got something after that, like, oh God,
That's it.
I want it to keep going on like this. So bad followed by good, end on a high.
Everyone, thank you
2
for
good
putting
episodes.
up with our later hours. Totally my fault. So we will
David
have it
Oopsied.
normal time next week.
Yes.
Anything else, guys?
Normal time is now. It's not normal time anymore though, because the clock's
Right,
changed.
it's 12
and
noon
we switched to
Pacific
Evie's.
time. Well,
So
Yvie
it's
doesn't
now-
change.
Yeah. So because Evie doesn't change, we change for her.
Right.
So we are now 8 p.m. UK time.
Yeah.
And you said noon your time.
Noon
Yeah.
Pacific rather than 1 Pacific. Yep.
So GMT is always 8 p.m. and then when we go to British Summer Time, BST, it's always 9 p.m. That's how I remember it between the two for me. So UK people, you're welcome. Also, we need a Stargate Lower Deck series, Chibi Me.
That would be a great idea. I think it's called Infinity. Yvie, Nicole, thank you guys. My name is David
Thank
Reed.
you.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.